As you can see, I'm your host, Dan Miller, in the Dan Miller studio. So the schedule came out. I did a quick thing about it and everything. OTA started Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. I'm recording this so you guys understand that. It sucks. First of all, it sucks for the Sabres to lose in overtime. Listen to Sal and Matt. It's all with game day in Buffalo. Check them out if you haven't already. Hit and like, subscribe to my channel. But the Bills lost in overtime to Denver in the second round. Sabres lose to Montreal in the second round in overtime. Both on controversial calls. As you could imagine, everything, stuff like that. So we're going to talk about schedule, OTAs, and stuff like that. Um, as you can see, Bill's schedule is here. Um, as I'm sharing with you guys, week one we got the Panthers, the Steelers, and Cleveland in preseason games. Um, so you know we'll see how Jim Slender's defense holds up and everything as we learn more about the defense during these OTAs. What guys bulked up for what position is going to be true news tackle? Is going to be this guy for doing this job? Is his focus to be on this, or is his focus to be on that and everything? So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that and everything. And for the Bills schedule, um, as we can get to there. And week one they play Houston. I think they're going to beat Houston. It's a revenge game. Get them right off the bat, even though they have one of the best defenses in the league last year. I think they were number one. Denver was number two. Um, and we know what we can do with number two defense. We put up 30 and all the turnovers that we did. And we still almost won that game. We should have won the game, but not here and there. But you could see week two is home opener against Detroit, and that's going to be the way they built the stadium and everything. It's going to help for the storm, for the loud noises and everything. So Jared Goff is going to have a tough time. It's tough playing Buffalo as it is because we're contenders. Detroit is very good. They're still contenders, even though they didn't make playoffs last year. They're still contenders for the Super Bowl as well. Um, as everything else, so we know that they can do that and everything as well. And for them to do that, so Jared Goff is going to the pressure of playing on the road, prime time, first Thursday night game of the season at Highmark Stadium. It stands it out by itself, so that helps. It's week two, start of week two. Everything, whew, we got week one out of the way. All right, that was good week one. Hopefully, that's very good. Between the kicking off the season on Wednesday and then Thursday for the Super Bowl champs. Or is it Super Bowl champs on Wednesday and then Thursday, or Super Bowl champions? Um, with Seattle, and then you get the Sunday, all day Sunday with football as well. Excuse me for this, and for the Buffalo Bills to do that is going to be fantastic. Um, they'll play at 1 o'clock, so we get right away out the way. We don't have to wait, and then we're like short week. We get Detroit. I'm not sure who Detroit plays in that week, as well. So for the Buffalo Bills, I think they'll be fine as well. Doing that. So um, let's see. Week 3, we played the Chargers. I mean, it's a gauntlet. How no matter how you look at it, as well, it is a total gauntlet. I mean, Houston, Detroit, the Chargers, the Patriots, the Rams. It's like wow. So the first 5 games is just like we could weather the storm. We great. 4-1, ideal. 5-0, best case scenario. 4-1, you know, I would take, you know, well the you know 4-1. Would you take 3-2? Yes, I would take 3-2. I think the but I think the Bills are going to beat the Chargers. For the Chargers get real momentum, especially Houston when we played them week 1. We're jumping right into it. Our defense versus our new offense, sort of new, not really. Just Joe Brady is the head coach now and everything, and we'll see what the offense what he's rolling. I'd like to see how more his rolling, time management, when to challenge and stuff like that. And, his guys will help him out with that as well. They, you know, well, communicate hopefully a lot better than Sean McDermott, you know, but we'll have to wait and see. I see the Bills go 4-1 in the first 5 games, and the loss will be to the Los Angeles Rams. Now, you never know; it could be somebody else too. So the Patriots with New England with Mike Vrabel and his role in whatever with the NFL reporter and everything as well. That could be a mess. I mean, Drake May is coming off his you know MVP performance. He didn't win it, but he was nominated. And he's getting questions about his head coach and everything. Is well, so like it's just hard to do that and everything. And he's answering questions about his coach. So that locker room could be, disturbing as well. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that and everything. Um, then, when they play the Rams in week 5, um, they're going to be out West Coast. And then you got the Raiders out West Coast. So with the Raiders playing that, and it's a short week, I think they're going to stay out there. I think Matt might have said it, or Sal said that maybe Joe Marino on Locked On Bills. They could, eventually go to Dallas and say, "Hey, Dallas, can we rent out your facility that's close out there? You um, so we can practice and stay out here, West Coast." Excuse me. Sorry, a little tired today. Um, but just stay out there, but get away from the strip. The casinos and everything, all the players and everything. Stay away from for now. Stay in California if you have to, or just outside of it, so you can, you know, whatever helps. And then it's good. And then you have a bye week 7. Rest up players and stuff with that, soft tissues injuries or anything like that. Hopefully nobody gets injured um, during at least the first 5 weeks of the season or beyond. And then so after the Raiders, after our bye week, we're at home against the Baltimore Ravens. Now the Ravens are still contenders, new coach, we'll have to see what their tier is. I will do AFC and NFC top 10 contenders from each conference. I will do that next week for you guys on the episode. So hit and like, subscribe, and rate and review on the podcast on Spotify or Apple or wherever you pod. But we got the Raiders, still got Lamar Jackson. They're not rebuilding or anything. We'll talk about that too next week as well. About teams rebuilding, who could be right off the gate strong, or hey, they look strong, but they're not quite ready yet. So we'll get to that soon. But Ravens are strong, so it's going to be a battle. That's a 1 o'clock game at home, and then we go to Minnesota Monday night. So, which is weird to have Minnesota on Monday night as well. And then we're in New Jersey for the Jets game, 1 o'clock. Jets I think, are going to be a better team than Miami. We'll also talk about that next week as well. All the teams, too, in the division and outside of the division, AFC and stuff like that. Like I said, next week, so hit and like, subscribe to the channel so you can get, when it's coming. Also, the Jets, we'll beat them. They're going to be pretty good, group of young guys and everything. So, excuse me. So, the Jets. Miami, still weakened. They're going to be, no team is a cakewalk, but, look at it as like a cakewalk. So, that's, as well. So, we got Miami. We'll beat Miami. So the only team I lost to the Rams, so, we're 4-1, and then beat the Ravens, beat the Vikings. I mean, Vikings are not going to be a cakewalk either. Jets are not going to be a cakewalk. It's division. The Dolphins, not. It is more of a cakewalk than the Jets or the Patriots. So, but yeah, Dolphins will finish last in the division. So 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 9-1. By the time we play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, 2 holidays, technically 3 if we count Valentine's Day, and don't really count Valentine's Day as a holiday. But the Super Bowl, the Bills will be playing on Valentine's Day this year, in 2027, Valentine's Day. Then we, 9-1. Then we got the Kansas City Chiefs, Thanksgiving, 8:20. So that's the last game of the night. So you can have all your turkeys, and you can do your turkey bowl if you guys do that. I used to do it when I was younger. I'm too old for that now. Do the turkey bowls, visit family, and then make sure your butt is on that couch and ready to go. Now, I said usually I would go live, but it's Thanksgiving. We have a tradition in my house. We have turkey and stuffings and all the good stuff and everything. And then we watch Christmas movies. We start watching them, like Home Alone and stuff like that. So we'll pick one and we'll watch it, and then we'll pick another one and watch that one. But I'm going to be watching the game. I'm not going to go live during any holiday games. So Thanksgiving, I'll watch it. I'll do a reaction right after, a quick reaction of it, of what happens, good, bad, the ugly. And then I'll actually do a full episode, for that game right after. So hopefully you guys, you get that Friday or Saturday, for the weekend, for the holiday. And then we played the Patriots. They could probably beat us this time around. Is week 13 at that point. So we're 10-2 at that point. Patriots could be 10-2 at that point too, as well. Um, and then we play Chicago. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we got Chicago on a Saturday at home. That's a Saturday game. You know, Patriots game's a 4:25 game. So we got many buys. We have the second most traveled team, and that's not including the teams that are playing international, which are a lot. We're not even international yet. Probably next year. We're probably going overseas next year somewhere. We got the Dolphins and the Jets the last two games of the season, as well as you guys know. Um, but like I said, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that and everything. So to me, we'll see. We see in OTAs, Josh Allen connected with DJ Moore. Coleman was asked some questions. Uh, and Dalton Kincaid, Coleman. We'll see. Jury's still out on him right now. Last year he had a great training camp, OTAs and training camp and everything, and then week one happened, and then he had a great game in week one, and then been benched 4 times, last season. So we'll see if this is a wake up call now with the new coach and everything. We'll see what happens. We're not too worried about the offense too much, so hopefully, that'll be great. So, um, Josh Allen is liking DJ Moore. His locker, they share locker rooms, get to know each other, get the chemistry going for the Buffalo Bills. Uh, so hopefully, we'll get that going. We'll see how it goes and everything. Dalton Kincaid talked to several team doctors throughout the NFL. Um, you know, you could pick a team: New England or Dolphins, the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Giants, the Tennessee, and got all the did all the testing, did all the X-rays, did all the scans and everything he needed for his PCL and his knee. They're like, hey, you don't need surgery, but here we can recommend to help you make it stronger and you know stuff like that. So hopefully that'll work out for them. You know, we'll see how the defense goes this year. That's going to be main focus. You know, how GT Moore looks, Keon Goldman, how Kincaid knee holds up and everything. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes from there. So, all right, guys. Next week, like I said, I'll do my top 10 contenders, um, both sides of the conference, AFC and NFC, and then also 10 teams. Or I'll talk about teams, not then, but talk about some teams that I think could be on the rise, and ones that are going to be right to the bottom on the fall, just like Lucifer did, fallen angel. So we'll get to that next week. So hit like, subscribe to this channel, so you guys can be up to date. Till next time, go Bills.